guys, welcome to another episode of the Burnout Brighter podcast. And again, like I said before in all of our other episodes, we are doing a very special series in partnership with RaiseTheGame and Ukie for Black History Month in the United Kingdom. And like, I said before, I didn't even know you guys had a separate Black History Month. So I am learning as I'm doing the show. But I want to welcome the beautiful Anzie. And her lovely brother, Alan.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on our show today. We always try to use our platform to uplift voices of people of color, diversity, inclusion. Like, that's one of our core values. And it's such a pleasure to work with RaiseTheGame and Ukie because that's some of their core values too. And y'all being, some of my brothers and sisters, I know you're excited to come on here and basically talk about what you do in the industry, how you see it, where we're going with it, moving forward. And if you guys stick around for our listeners, we are going to drop some knowledge on somebody who's very inspirational to them. So please stay tuned for the whole episode. I know you will, because if you don't, I will come for you. So
nice.
Let's
always threatening our listeners.
I'm always threatening them. That's what they come for. You know what I'm saying? They come to hear me talk shit. Anyways, so let's start with. Do you guys care who I start with?
No.
All right. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, we're gonna start with Alan. Alan, please tell us a little bit about what you and Anzie do.
All right, bet. So basically, we are MelaninGamers. MelaninGamers is a gaming community that promotes diversity and inclusion in the gaming industry, and we have a special focus on content creators. My sister Anzie, she's the founder. Actually, I'll let Annabelle explain what she does. But basically, what I do is that I am the researcher. So I make sure all our podcasts, all our panels, or everything to do with knowledge. I'm basically the knowledge database. I'm the brainiac of the group.
Nice.
So basically, I am, so anytime anybody needs a question on any kind of game, hopefully I know it. I've got a really big head. So.
I may have to come to you for some questions then when we do trivia in game, because I always lose.
No, I got you. Don't worry.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Get this on the road. Guys, can I just say I love that you're a brother and sister duo? I absolutely love that you work together. I could not do it with any of my siblings. And so kudos to you.
No, Anzie and I, we fight all the time. All the time.
Yeah, but see, you're still able to work together. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to talk to them. They're like, happy birthday. And I'm like, what do you want? You know
I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way.
Yo, we're going to be best friends by the end of this.
I got you. Don't worry.
So, Anzie, tell us a little bit about what you do on your end.
Everything else.
No, that was a dope answer. That was moving on.
Seriously.
No. You're so cute. You're shy. You're I do everything else that he didn't say he did. But just for our listeners, what exactly do you do?
So I'm the founder of MelaninGamers, and I created MG almost 3 years ago. We're going to be celebrating our birthday in about 10 days.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was, I guess, because I didn't see myself represented. We've been gamers since, PlayStation 1 days, N64 really, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so we've been gaming, and most of my friends are gamers, and we were always complaining that there's not enough representation. And we were always complaining, saying it. And I was like, why don't one of us do something about it? And so that's what I thought, MelaninGamers. And actually, my sister coined the name Melanin because she was just that it perfectly represents what we want to do, because we're trying to be about people of color. And so, melanin rich people always go in it. But we wanted to flip it and make it a good thing instead,
No, I love it.
And so it was mainly born of wanting that, but there's something I say which it's about Alan actually, which was
my gosh,
that's that sibling relationship you're starting to see. Right away he's like, I know where she's going with this. God damn it!
There's because I was for a while I was like, how do I? It seems like such a big thing to increase diversity and inclusion. It seems like such a huge thing, but. And so I was back and forth with it, but it wasn't until this thing happened to Alan. He was playing Overwatch and he wanted to be Grandmaster. and he had a team. And if you know, like Grandmaster is just like the pinnacle of.
To be fair, okay, I have to explain the dream because there's a dream.
Let me tell the story. Let me finish the story. So Alan had a team, and they were playing, like, going to Grandmaster, and his teammates were being racist towards him. His teammates, not the enemy team, but his teammates, which was just like, what the hell?
Up.
Yeah.
And so my sister, she came and heard, and she was just like, pause the game. She has no clue about gaming. I was like, it's a live game, and she doesn't even know what that means. But
she can't pause.
Can't pause it here. She told our parents, because she didn't like the idea of my brother being, abused online, and they were like, you can't play. They banned him from playing for 3 months. Because obviously to them, they're just like, well, stop playing this game. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
But I get that. Yeah, you don't want to subject your child to that. We get enough of that just going outside.
I know,
exactly.
but my brother said something to me, which was like, he was like, who wins if I stop playing? If he stops playing, he loses.
Right.
And I was like, that really sort of like affected me. And then my little brother, we have another brother, he was getting bullied in school, and he didn't say anything because he saw what happened to Alan and thought he was going to get punished for being bullied. And I was like, how can he think that's how the world works, where the person being bullied is going to get punished? I was like, this cannot be the world we're living. This cannot go on. Like, he can't think at such a young age that's how the world works. You can find out that when he's older.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let him be a kid while he can be a kid, and then when he gets older, he's like, oh wait, this is kind of how the world works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have to do something. I was just like, I can't be sitting idly by while this is happening, and this is having real world consequences. What's happening online is having like real world consequences. So I just thought, well, let's start this thing. So that was sort of the needle, I guess, that broke the camel's back, that situation.
Yo,
so,
that's an incredible story. Look, Alan, I'm gonna let you finish. But I just want to say that isn't, like, when you said that, it kind of like gave me chills. They weren't visible, but they were there because I'm wearing this big hoodie. That's not important. But you're absolutely right. Like, if we let them tear us down to where we quit, then again, we have younger people who are watching us, right? Whether we realize it or not, we have younger people who are watching us. And just like when we were younger, we didn't see representation. We are paving the pathway for them. And I don't think about that often, but like, it just clicked to me. Like, we are the forerunners for what we're trying to do. Like, we are taking this the first steps into making, bringing more diversity into the gaming industry. And like, that's what you guys should be thinking every single step of the way, and like, be so proud of yourselves, because there were people who came before us who were doing it. Like, we think about the greats like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Oprah Winfrey, all of them making steps. We are those people now. Like, legit, it's funny, but we are those people now, and that's what we're doing. So years later, when we're like 60 or 80 or whatever, still doing Comic-Cons and panels, they'll be like, oh my God, I remember like when the MelaninGamers, you remember that? Yo, now they got this massive company. Shit,
everybody's gonna be rocking their swag too. They're all gonna have the merch. It's gonna look amazing.
People are gonna dress up as you at Comic-Cons. Be like the Wonder Twins. It's gonna be amazing. Listen, so
if anybody's listening, I want a statue in the
middle of Central Park, please. Can we have it in Central Park? There used to be a Black community there, just for history buffs, in the middle of Central Park. But
basically,
guys, I'm proud of you. Like, and first of all, for being brother and sister and working together, because like I said, I couldn't do it. But like, for really stepping up and doing something about an issue that you saw, because so many people are complacent with not raising their voice, and you're doing it. And Alan, to sit there and want to deal with that is amazing, because I would have cussed them out. I would have already dropped to that level that people tell you not to drop to, and be an adult. I mean, like, oh, we all kids here. We all gonna be kids together. All right, we all gonna be childish together. Okay. So
to be clear, sorry, I don't mean to cut
you. Please.
To be clear, okay, I have to straighten things out, because first, if there's any pagans in the chat, I get it. In Overwatch, there's the Grandmaster, and I know that there's the top 500. That's the creme de la creme. And there's the Grandmaster, but I was working at the time. I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm Grandmaster and I'm working, if I don't work, I could have been in the top 500. So that's how I kind of. So I had like that dream where it's like, imagine my dream. I'm like a CS:GO god. That could have been me.
Yo,
but
you
anyway.
gotta have goals. You gotta have goals. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of work to play these games. Like, no shade at all. I couldn't do it. I tried playing Overwatch with a very toxic ex-boyfriend at the time, and I sucked. And he let me know I sucked every step of the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's everybody in Overwatch will tell you how much you suck.
Yeah.
Everybody will tell you. So going forward, it was that was. I'm also very, very good at dropping like really, really random one-liners that people just remember, like sister. So I was like, I drop like random one-liners, and to me it sounds like complete nonsense, but the other person's like,
damn, son, that was a bird.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the hell did I just say? Like, what did I just say?
Yo, you're just acting on the verge, like you're just doing it. I love it.
But yeah,
you smack talk.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my god, do you stream it? Because I'm down to watch somebody smack talk other people.
No.
Anzi, you hear this?
No. Stop right there.
Because I have a motto. Like Anzi knows my motto, and I'm like, everybody believes they're the best until they fight me. And Anzi,
like, come on.
Anzi hates that motto.
Listen, all right, you don't have to stream it on yours, but we're going to start a stream pretty soon. You jump over with Matt. I want to hear it. I want to hear you smack talk some people, and then like wipe the floor with them. And I'll be like, yeah, that's my homie. I don't know how to play, but that's my homie on my team.
I got you.
Anzi's going to be like, MelaninGamers is now a solo investor. Alan is no longer part of MelaninGamers. He has left, not by his choice.
But all right, thank you so much for telling that story and telling our listeners a little bit more about you. So what I want to know, moving forward in the industry, what do you guys want to see? And what do you think that you can contribute moving forward to what you want to see? Now, I know you kind of talked about the reason why you started MelaninGamers, which is awesome. Like, it's dope. Mm-hmm. But moving forward, what are some other things that you hope to accomplish in the future to kind of facilitate your core goals?
There are loads of things that we've done and that we want to do already. I think sometimes just being present and doing these things. For example, I think Alan's probably going to use this example. When we were in Birmingham and we had for Insomnia Gaming Festival, and we did a panel there. And at the end of the panel, a dad, and he had two like younger children, he said he wanted to shake our hands just because they've been going to Insomnia and they've never seen a panel where there's just black people ever before. And like Alan loves the story because it just made him so emotional, and he doesn't want to admit it, but it did. And it was just like
what?
that it meant so much that to them that we were just there giving a panel talk. Is like they saw us. They were represented, you know. They've been going to this thing for so long, but they've never seen an all-black panel. And stuff like that is just... sometimes it overwhelms me, like, this is what I'm doing for somebody else, you know? So already we're doing stuff like that. We give talks in, like, schools a lot. Well, this was before COVID. And we talk to parents and students about the fact that gaming is not just about playing games. There's, like, loads of career options. Because especially when, like, you know, you're black and it's like, these are the career, you're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a pastor. And if you don't go one of those career paths,
you failed your family.
You failed your family.
Yeah.
Like, a game, like, they don't see it as, like,
it's only leisure.
It's literally only leisure. So we do give those talks and say, like, actually, no, these are career options that are available to you if you want. Like, if you're a writer, you can be a games writer. If you like illustration, there's animation, there's so many music productions, you can make music for games, and you still be doing what you love, both married into two. I didn't know about writing for games until like a few years ago. You know, these things aren't really known, but
me and you both.
It's but obviously someone's writing these games, but you don't put two and two together, you know, and no one really tells you about these things. And so that's one thing that we are really pushing at MG, especially with like working with the youth. Saying that these are career options that they can get into. It doesn't all have to be about coding or being a pro gamer, even though those are options that we're still helping people with. But there are other career paths that are available to you to take, you know. And gaming made more than film and music. When was that case?
I think it was in either 2016 or 2017, where it was just after the first lockdown. So that would be in.
That's early.
It was actually quite.
2020.
No, it wasn't. It was recent because another figure came out
2019
where
was around when we first got the lockdowns.
Yeah. it's like the
And
years have been
gaming
blending
made
together.
more than that. Gaming industry made both of those industries, film and music combined.
It's
So
incredible.
there's a lot of money in gaming, and we have to
Yeah.
be jumping on that right now, right away as well, because or like gaming, when you compare to the other industries, is like an infant. Where like music
Yeah.
industry and film has been around for so long, they're established, and it's like we always see those hashtags, Oscars so white, that kind of thing. And we don't want gaming going that way, especially right now where
Absolutely.
it's already gaining traction. Let's make it diverse now, whilst it's still young relatively. Before it's just like we have to do all this work now that it's already established, you know? So
Yeah.
that's one thing we're really pushing for people to get into gaming and learn about it, that kind of thing, like now at a young age. Whilst gaming is still the newest industry out there, kind of thing.
Right. I love that like you're working with the youth, and I think that's so important. Like I said before, like we are those pioneers that are stepping into this industry, and we are the ones who are going to carve out these paths. And I think what's important is like you brought up that you were at a panel and the father came up and he shook your hand. Representation is so important, and the fact that Black children or just people of color don't see themselves in the industry, they don't feel that they have a place in the industry, and these opportunities aren't being shown to them or given to them. So it's really important that people like you go around and say, hey, this is an option. This isn't only for, really, really rich white people who want to make forms of entertainment. Like, this is for us and we can do it. Yeah.
Especially because like you guys might not even realize the impact that you're making at points, right? There could be kids at home talking about you right now, and you're never gonna know it. But it's that kind of impact that stays with people, right? Destiny and I had taught in Korea for a while, and it's just like kids will remember the smallest, most insignificant thing that you say or that you do. To you don't even think about it, but then they'll come back to you months later and be like, remember this? It's like you guys are doing that same thing, and it's incredible.
You gotta
Kudos
watch
to you guys.
yourself.
It's amazing.
Gotta watch yourself with kids. But no, it is important because I didn't think about it at first, but then somebody brought it up to me, like living in South Korea for 5 years. I never thought that I might be the only Black person that those kids ever had that kind of relationship with. So I had to represent myself in a certain way. Not that I wouldn't have otherwise, but like you could
There's more pressure.
Yeah. There is a lot of pressure without realizing that there's kind of like that pressure. But listen, like I hope that you never let this pressure beat you down, because you guys are doing amazing things. Like you're incredible. And if nobody has told you that recently, I am sitting here telling you, you are fucking incredible. And the fact that you are working with the youth and you're giving them a chance and you're speaking to them, this never would have happened when I was in school. I don't think I ever had a person of color come speak at my school. And that would have made a world of difference. And it really does. Like if you see somebody who looks like you up there on the stage, being professional, doing what they do, loving what they do, and telling you that you could also do something like that, mind-blowing. So true. But all right, sorry. I'm gonna jump in tonight. I was like, oof, guys, I almost need to get a tissue. No, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that we're doing this. And again, huge shout out to RaiseTheGame and Ukie for asking us to do this and work with them. Not that this is like we should only talk about Black history this month and we should showcase Black voices. We should do it year round, but people don't, obviously. But that's why it was so important for like when we were talking about it to be like, hell yeah, we're from the United States, but Black history it's a part of every culture out there. So if we can do something to like bring more light to like content creators and things that you guys are doing across the pond, like you're basically our cousins, our brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
We gonna do it. We're gonna jump on it. So my last question.
Wait, before you go into the last question,
go ahead.
I wanted to ask Alan, and especially for you, like dealing with that kind of racism online and stuff when you were going for your Grandmaster dreams. I mean, like, what do you want to see change? I mean, where do you want to see things go?
Funny enough, this answer is going to sound weird, but
I'm ready.
I don't want there to be I don't want there to be a MelaninGamers in the future where there's the need to push for the diversity and inclusion. I just want it to be. I just want to be called a gamer,
right?
Not really a black gamer.
Yeah.
Just a gamer and just being online. So it sounds weird, like we're working to quit. If that makes sense.
Absolutely not.
Right.
It does not sound weird at all.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
not sound weird at all. We were talking about
So,
the
yeah.
exception versus the norm. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of like, oh, it's the first black person to do this or the first black person to.
The hero stories. Yeah.
Let's just. It should. In this day and age, it should be like it's this person doing this with these credentials. Like our color should not have to constantly come into it, right? So I get exactly what you're saying. Like you just want to be a gamer. You don't want to be the black gamer or the melanin gamer. Like we want to make that a normality to where we don't have to push it because we're all a part of it. You don't ever hear like the first white gamer or any of that shit. You know what I mean? So
Funny enough, it was actually Annabelle that convinced me to do MelaninGamers because for me at that age, I was like, this is just the norm. Like you just go through this, and then if you want to have that grandmaster, you're gonna have to get like that.
Grow thick skin, mute your mic, do all of these things. I was like, what is this?
But you shouldn't have to. You absolutely shouldn't have to deal with that shit. So I'm glad that you're still out there doing you, and I'm really proud of MelaninGamers because honestly, like we just need more people talking about it. Because people don't want to talk about it. And I'm not saying black people don't want to talk about it because we talk about it all the time. But like we need people who are in the industry talking about it and not being afraid of like being silenced or like not representing the whatever the right look or what the fuck ever. Like do you and be proud of who you are, right? Don't let them silence you, and that's how I feel. Teach it to the babies. All right. So Matt, did you have anything else you wanted to throw onto that?
Nope.
All right, because I didn't want to get cut off again.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Matt's a good sport.
Actually,
guys.
really quick.
See?
No, I'm just kidding.
He got jokes. We're like brother and sister, honestly. I don't know how we do it. But, all right, next, moving on. Who would like to answer this question? I know you guys kind of know what I'm going to ask, so I'm just going to throw it up, and whoever wants to jump on it, all right? It's like a little game, so let's see who's the best one. A little friendly competition. So, who is somebody who really, really inspires you today? And go.
Ooh.
Today?
It can be a historical figure who still inspires you today.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mean to be like, you had to be like, oh, Beyonce kind of inspires me. No.
Beyonce doesn't. I would say, because I know what Alan is going to say anyway, my sister. I would say my sister really inspires me. Well, my brother and I, we obviously have the same sister, but she's amazing in like her dedication and the way she works really hard at everything she does. Everything she does, she will put 100% into it, even if it's like a little thing. Like right now, we have so many plants every day. There's another plant in the house, but everything that she does, she always gives it 100% of her attention, and it's just like her diligence. And I just watch her, and I'm like, I want to be as dedicated to everything in my life, like the way she is. She's just started medical school. It's her second degree. Because she wants
what's up.
Like it's just crazy. Like, after graduating, it's been years, but she's going into medical school, which is like 5 years. It's like medical. It's a long road to becoming a doctor, and she doesn't give up on a dream just because it's not the right time or it's later in life or whatever. And she's just my inspiration for a lot of things, and the way she works hard. And if my brother and I are arguing, she will like quash it immediately, which is why we're able to work together.
Yeah, exactly.
Never be able to work together. She's a very good mediator, that's for sure. So my sister is just the best, and she's the oldest. So obviously that was the original plan, and then the rest of us got worse over time.
What?
Are you the older one?
Original plan.
Yeah. So it's 2 girls and it's 2 boys. So I'm the third.
Okay.
And then, so just casual shade at my direction.
But like, to my sister, she's the best, and she always hears me rant and rave about certain things, injustices, because I can get really worked up when I read something online, and she's just like, how can we solve this? How can we, and she's the best, basically. So
it's really good to have people like that in your life. Like it is, because I get very hyped on things that I read, and sometimes it comes out on the podcast.
Look at Matt, like yeah.
No, that's okay.
Sometimes it comes out on the podcast, especially when the George Floyd thing happened. I was going through a lot, and not being in the U.S. at the time and being in South Korea, I felt really isolated, and working with a lot of people where I was like really the only Black person there. I went through a lot of depression because I was like, why aren't you as mad as I am? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand that. And I think that's a great pick. I really do. I think it's great when you can look up to somebody in your family, because there is this narrative that Black families aren't really that close, that, you know, a dad's always off in jail or a mom's always doing some other shit. And that's like kind of like what the media has like put out there for such a long time. And that is not all of us. Just like not all African countries are poor. I'm just gonna throw that out there, because I know
yes
that's a thing that is, you know what I'm saying?
It's a huge thing.
We don't just have the Cosbys, guys, or my wife and kids. Like there are normal families out there that are not part of TV that are great. So I love like the family connection that you brought into this, and that you guys are working together. Like I said, I think you're the only group of people I know who are a brother and sister duo, and I'm loving it. I don't care if y'all fight. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh yeah, we fight all the time.
I love it. Me and Matt fight sometimes, but like I'm dominant, so I am. Matt, am I not
sneaky?
He is sneaky. He's that's why. Listen, that's why we fight. That's why we fight. Oh my god, y'all. But listen, I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming on our show and sharing your story. And like, look, if your sister ever gets famous, like, let us know. We'll drop the information down at the bottom. If you're a little Black girl out there listening, you want to be a doctor and you want 2 degrees, representation right there. And we do need more Black women and Black men in the medical field, because pregnant women are out there losing their lives based on old fucked up stereotypes. So
indeed,
yeah, that dropping knowledge bombs all through this. Anyway, so thank you again so much, Alan and Angie, for coming on to our show. And please, I'm going to extend the invitation to come on to our regular show and just talk with us. It's pretty chill. It's like this. I may be a little tipsy, whatever, whatever works. Whatever works. Please come on and talk with us there. And again, a huge thank you to RaiseTheGame and Ukie for partnering with us to highlight and showcase Black History Month in the United Kingdom. Everybody, it is time to sign off. Say bye.
Bye.